Some women are remembered for their beauty, a few are remembered for their power. But once in a century, a woman appears who is remembered for her impact. Elizabeth Taylor was not just a Hollywood legend. She was a psychological phenomenon, a Stoic queen, a woman who lived through scandal, heartbreak, illness, addiction, betrayal, and still walked out of every fire wearing diamonds. And yes, yet again, our beloved superstar, Taylor Swift, has a song entitled Elizabeth Taylor. Hello, beautiful thinkers. Today we're not only talking about the actress, we're also talking about the architecture of a woman who refused to break. This is Thinking Lab, the only channel where science meets ancient wisdom, Stoicism meets biblical insight, and where we decode the minds of extraordinary humans, so you can become one. Stay tuned in, because I added pointers and lessons dedicated for modern women. Now, let's get started. Chapter 1. Elizabeth Taylor, Early Life, born February 27th, 1932, in London to American parents. Moved to Los Angeles before World War II. Her striking beauty and violet eyes drew Hollywood's attention early. Signed with Universal Pictures at age 9, and became a star by 12 with National Velvet, 1944. Hollywood reign. One of the most celebrated actresses of the 20th century, won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress. Butterfield 8, 1960. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, 1966. Known for her emotional depth, magnetic screen presence, and fearless authenticity. Her beauty became legendary, but her intelligence and emotional intensity defined her longevity. Private life. Married 8 times to 7 men, including Richard Burton, twice. Her relationships mirrored her passion, turbulent, yet deeply human. Battled illness and addiction, yet continually reinvented herself with grace and humor. Humanitarian legacy. Became one of the first global celebrities to advocate for AIDS awareness in the 1980s. Founded the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, raising hundreds of millions for research and care. Her compassion transformed public perception of the disease and gave dignity to those affected. Cultural impact. Symbol of feminine power, resilience, and reinvention. Embodied the Stoic truth: you cannot control events, only your response. Her life reflected biblical redemption, flawed yet chosen, broken yet purposeful. Died March 23rd, 2011, leaving behind a legacy of beauty, courage, and humanitarian brilliance. Chapter 2. The Science of a Woman Who Felt Deeply. Elizabeth Taylor was born with a rare psychological profile, high sensitivity, plus high intensity, plus high openness to experience. Neuroscience calls this sensory processing sensitivity. It means you feel emotions more deeply. You love more intensely. You suffer more painfully. You attach more fiercely. You create more powerfully. This wiring is found in only 15 to 20% of humans. It's the wiring of artists, visionaries, and revolutionaries. Elizabeth wasn't dramatic. She was neurologically built for depth. Her passion. Science calls it dopaminergic drive, the brain's hunger for meaning, novelty, and emotional truth. Her loyalty. Science calls it oxytocin dominance, the bonding hormone that makes love feel sacred. Her intensity. Science calls it amygdala amplification, emotions that hit harder and last longer. What the world labeled too much was actually her superpower. Chapter 3. Stoicism in a Diamond Necklace. Elizabeth Taylor lived through 7 marriages, 30-plus surgeries, near-death illnesses, addiction, public humiliation and betrayal, the brutality of Hollywood, and the cruelty of tabloids. Yet she embodied the Stoic principle. You cannot control events. You can only control your response. When her studio tried to control her, she walked away. When the world judged her, she kept living. When she was sick, she fought. When she was heartbroken, she rebuilt. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It's about being unbreakable. Elizabeth Taylor didn't hide her pain. She alchemized it. She didn't collapse under pressure. She expanded under it. She didn't let the world define her. She rewrote the definition. Chapter 4. Ancient Wisdom, the Enduring Queen. In Greek philosophy, there is an archetype called kalos kagathos, the union of outer beauty and inner excellence. Elizabeth Taylor embodied both. But she also embodied the yin power of Chinese philosophy, namely magnetic, intuitive, emotionally intelligent, soft yet unshakable, receptive yet influential. Yin is not weakness. Yin is the gravitational pull of the feminine. Elizabeth Taylor didn't chase power. She attracted it. She didn't demand attention. She commanded it. She didn't fight for her place. She became the place. In ancient cultures, violet eyes were seen as a mark of intuition and inner fire. Elizabeth Taylor embodied both. Only a handful of people ever had violet purple eyes. She turned them into a legend. Ancient wisdom teaches that the feminine queen is not defined by perfection, but by presence. And Elizabeth Taylor's presence was a force of nature. Chapter 5. Biblical Insight. Redemption is a journey. The Bible is full of imperfect people who became powerful instruments, such as David, Rahab, Jacob, Mary Magdalene, Paul. Elizabeth Taylor's life followed the same pattern: flawed, human, broken, chosen, transformed. Her greatest calling didn't come from Hollywood. It came from her compassion. She became one of the first global celebrities to fight for AIDS awareness, at a time when the world was silent. This was her Esther moment. For such a time as this, her pain became her purpose. Her suffering became her service. Her heartbreak became her healing. Biblical wisdom teaches, your wounds are often the birthplace of your calling. Elizabeth Taylor lived that truth. Chapter 6. The Lesson for Modern Women. 5 lessons from Elizabeth Taylor's life. 1. Reinvention is survival. She never let endings define her, marriages, roles, or eras. Each chapter was a rebirth. In science terms, she mastered neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire your identity after pain. 2. Emotions. Our power, not weakness. Her sensitivity made her magnetic. She proved that feeling deeply is not fragility, it's data. Emotional intelligence is the feminine form of strength. 3. Grace under fire is Stoic mastery. Public judgment didn't break her, it refined her. She lived the Stoic truth. You can't control the storm, but you can control your stance. 4. Compassion is the highest form of beauty. Her humanitarian work showed that true beauty radiates from empathy. She turned fame into service, a biblical act of redemption through love. 5. Imperfection is the path to greatness. Her flaws didn't cancel her legacy, they completed it. Ancient wisdom teaches, gold is purified by fire. Elizabeth Taylor lived that alchemy. Elizabeth Taylor teaches us the following: you can be emotional and powerful. You can be flawed and chosen. You can be judged and still rise. You can be broken and still become a healer. You can reinvent yourself at any age. You can love deeply without losing yourself. You can walk through fire and come out shining. Her life is proof that a woman's power is not in perfection. It's in her ability to rise again and again, with her identity intact. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just beautiful. She was built differently. Which lesson from her life hit you the hardest? Reinvention, emotional intelligence, stoic resilience, compassion as power, imperfect but chosen. Drop your answer below and tell me which part of her story surprised you the most. Let's think deeper together. We've reached our closing. If this episode enlightened you, if you are ready to elevate your mind and live beautifully, hit the subscribe button, like and share this to a friend or a family who needs a little motivation from Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor didn't live a perfect life. She lived a full one. She didn't avoid pain, she transformed it. She didn't fear judgment, she outgrew it. She didn't break, she became unbreakable. And that is the real legacy of a woman who mastered beauty, power, and reinvention. This is Thinking Lab, where we don't just admire extraordinary women, we learn how to become them. Until next time, I'm Athena, and this is Thinking Lab. Think deeper. Live better.